Hello friends, myself Yojna Kumawat. I'm lecturer from Kikewak Polytechnic, Nasik. Today I am going to teach you how the soap manufacturing process takes place in the industry. Soaps are the sodium or the potassium salts of fatty acids. Common fatty acids used are oleic acid, stearic acid, palmitic acid, lauric acid, and the myristic acids. Soaps are used for the human comfort, cleanliness, and for industrial use. Soaps is a surface active agent, or we can say the soaps are the surfactants. The soap molecules contain both hydrophilic part and the hydrophobic part. The carboxylate part of the soap is a hydrophilic part, and the other aliphatic chain part is a hydrophobic part of the soap. The dirt or the grease is cleaned by the key mechanism. The most marketed bar soaps contain TiO2, that is titanium dioxide, as an opacifier or as a whitener. A variety of dyes are used to produce the color soaps. The raw materials used for the manufacturing of soap are fatty constituent from the refined tallow, coconut and the palm oil, or refined grease, byproducts of vegetable oil refining, etc. In India, for the source of fatty acid, mostly depend on the imported tallow and the palm oil. The coconut oil is the primary vegetable oil used for the manufacturing of soap. Chemical reaction which occurs in the soap manufacturing processes are: first reaction takes place, that is fat splitting process. In this fat splitting process, the triglycerides of the fats are reacted with the water, which forms fatty acids and the glycerine. You can see here the RCOO thrice C3H5. This is a triglyceride. When it reacted with the 3 molecules of water molecules, it gives the 3 molecules of fatty acid and the glycerine. And after the first reaction, second reaction takes place, which gives our product, that is soap, and that process is known as saponification reaction. In this reaction, fatty acid which came from this fat splitting process that react with the MOH. Here M can be any alkali metal, such as it can be a sodium hydroxide or it can be a potassium hydroxide. So when fatty acid, that is RCOOH, R can be any alkyl group, when it react with the MOH or the sodium hydroxide or the potassium hydroxide, it gives soap, that is RCOOM. Here, if we take it as a sodium, then it will form a sodium salt of fatty acid, and if you take it as a potassium, it will form a potassium salt of fatty acid. Okay, and the side product we get as a water. These are the some fatty acids which are present in the oils. Lauric acid, or we call it as a dodecanoic acid, that its formula is C12H24O2. Myristic acid, we call it as a tetradecanoic acid, and its formula is C14H28O2. Palmitic acid, its name is hexadecanoic acid. Its formula is C16H32O2. Then the stearic acid, which is also called as octadecanoic acid. Its formula is C18H36 and the O2. Oleic acid, its another name is 9-octadecanoic acid, and its formula is C18H34O2. And the linoleic acid, its another name, that is IUPAC name, is 9,12-octadecanoic acid, or we can say the octadecanoic acid, and its formula is C18H32 and O2. This is the process flow diagram of manufacturing of soap. So we will see one by one. this is the hydrolyzer inside, or we can say it is the main reactor of soap manufacturing process, or the first process, that is a fat splitting reaction takes place into this hydrolyzer. Inside this hydrolyzer, fats and the catalyst are sent, and in this hydrolyzer the reaction takes place at 230 to 250 degrees Celsius, and the pressure inside the hydrolyzer is 40 to 45 atmosphere. And inside this, we have also sent hot water for heating purposes. In this hydrolyzer, two products are formed. One is the glycerine, and the second one is the fatty acids, which we have seen in our first reaction. That is, means we can say inside the hydrolyzer, this first reaction takes place, that is triglycerides and water are converted into the fatty acids and the glycerine. So inside this, from the bottom side, glycerine is removed and that is sent to the ion exchangers, and the fatty acids are sent to the flash tank. Inside this flash tank, fatty acids are steam flashed to remove the water and concentrate the fatty acids. Means we are removing the water from this flash tank and we are concentrating the fatty acid inside this flash tank. Then this concentrated fatty acid is sent to the vacuum steel. The concentrated fatty acids enter this high vacuum steel, and for this a jet ejector is used to generate the vacuum inside the steel, and the wastage which are produced after the distillation are removed from the bottom, and the fatty acid is also taken out from this vacuum steel as a marketable product. Means we can sell it directly as it is, or for the soap manufacturing we pass it through the heat exchanger and we send it to the mixer, where the NaOH or the KOH is added inside this mixture. Means the second reaction of fatty acid plus sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide takes place inside this mixer, and we get our final product soap inside this mixer. After mixing, a viscous mass is produced inside this mixer and then it is sent to the blender. This viscous mass from the mixer is enters into this blender, and the ingredients like the scent, antifungal and the antibacterial chemicals are mixed inside this blender. So we can say our final soap is produced after this mixing and the blending process, and now that blender removes the solid mass and that is sent to the three areas. One is the bar stock press, chipping rolls, and the for the soap powder. Inside this chipping roll we get the soap strips. Means if you want a soap strip, we send it to the chipping rolls from the blender. If you want a viscous bar soaps, then we send it to the bar stock presses, and if you want the soap in the powder form, then we send it to the for the soap powder formation. Okay, so the upper part of this process, or we can say the upper part of this diagram shows the paper manufacturing process. But the glycerine, that is 50 to 20% glycerine impurity, which is formed inside this hydrolyzer during the first reaction, it is sent to the ion exchange, and inside this ion exchange some salts and the color is removed from the glycerine. Then it is sent to the triple effect evaporator. In this triple effect evaporator, the water is evaporated and glycerine is concentrated inside this triple effect evaporator. So the concentrated glycerine coming out from this triple effect evaporator is then sent to the vacuum steel. The glycerine obtained from the vacuum steel is called as a yellow glycerine also, because it has a yellow color, and it is used for the industrial use. And inside this vacuum steel, the steam is produced from the evaporator is used in vacuum steel to further concentrate the glycerine. Means we are using the steam of this triple effect evaporator to heat this vacuum steel. Means we are reusing this steam. And from this vacuum seal, this yellow glycerin is sent to the holding tank. Okay, and from this holding tank we can directly use this 99% yellow glycerin, and we can send it to the market. But if we want a white glycerin, we send it to the mixer. For removing the color, yellow glycerin is treated with the carbon, activated carbon inside this mixer. Means here this 99% yellow glycerin get reacted with this activated carbon and its color changes. Means we can say that adsorption process takes place here. Okay, and after that this mixture of activated carbon and this glycerin is sent to the filter, where this activated carbon is separated from that glycerin, and from this filter we get a 99% white glycerin. So the glycerin formed during this process is 30 to 35 kg per ton of soap produced. Means if we manufacture 1 ton of soap, 30 to 35 kg glycerin is produced. And if you don't want to separate the glycerin, then this second process, we can say this bottom process is not carried out. But if you want to separate this glycerin, we want to form a glycerin and we want to form a separate soap, both the processes are necessary to manufacture the soap and the glycerin. These are the now I am going to discuss the different types of soaps with you. First type is glycerin soap. Glycerin soap is a component of the oil or the fat. Any handmade soap contains glycerin, a byproduct of the chemical reaction of the soap making process. Because during the formation of handmade soap, we does not separate the glycerin from the uh, product. Okay, so the glycerin inside the soap, it remains as it is. But this is only the case for the handmade soap, not for the industrial soap. Unlike the most commercial soaps, glycerin is being purposely removed by the manufacturer to sold for the other product, making uses like the cosmetics or the moisturizer. Then the second type is transparent soap, made by the hot process method, usually added some form of alcohol to make it transparent. This sugar soap, sugar is distilled in water for that, is an alternative ingredient to replace the alcohol, but not as effective as alcohol. Some of the manufacturer in the market use the ready-made soap bases. And next step is the liquid soap. Making the liquid soap making process is more complicated than the soap bar, usually made with the hot process method, and it becomes liquid from due to the different type of making processes. And here we use the potassium hydroxide, and also due to the more water is added inside this soap, this become a liquid soap. Next is the kitchen soap. Kitchen soap is a soap intended for use in the kitchen, mainly to serve the purpose of dishwashing. Next is a novelty soap. Generally, the children's soap is having a different shape, like a fish cake and mushak. And because for attracting the children and for their enjoyment, for their amusement, this kind of soaps are made with the different shapes. Next is a guest soap. It is a mini soap and it is generally used in the restaurants for means small mini soap can be used for one person, so the soap does not get wasted. And also they comes in the various attractive shapes also, and these are mainly used for the guest only. When the medicated soap, this medicated soap is the soap with the added antiseptics and the disinfectant to kill bacteria. And this kind of soaps we are generally using this pandemic era of coronavirus. This kind of soaps we are using more, we can say, for the means for this era. This kind of soaps are all the persons are using this soap. And beauty soaps are the have they are having a fragrance ingredients for a different skin types, and they can feature a special oil blend or the glycerine. And the last one is the laundry soaps. They are effective in cleaning solid particles, grease, and organic compounds in the clothes, and can be quite convenient to wash the clothes during travels because it is easy to carry. So thank you everyone for watching my video of soap manufacturing. If you like this video, please click a like button and share this video, and please subscribe my channel. Thank you everyone. I will meet you soon with my next video. Thank you.